Pregame.com.
Welcome back to Pregame.tv. I'm your host, Marco D'Angelo, joined in studio my partner in crime, Ken Thomson. We're going to take a look at college and pro action for this weekend. We're going to kick it off, Ken. College football, West Virginia, Kansas State. Kansas State, they haven't played. They had last week off. They haven't played since that big game against Baylor. And, they played well. They held Baylor. They're the only team that held Baylor, below season totals. Played well but lost. West Virginia last week, they played undefeated Texas Tech. Took them to the limit, actually had the lead late in the second half, but then Texas Tech, got two late scores, pulled away by 10. What do you see happening in this one?
I see Snyder making some adjustments during the off week. There is no question. Plus, they get Thompson and Lockett back. They're two speed guys. That's so important for them because not only are those guys good on the offensive side of the ball, but they're punt and kickoff returners as well.
Absolutely. And you know what, Ken? I look at this Kansas State team and, Bill Snyder, what a job he's done over the years at Kansas State, to go away, come back, and pick right up where he left off, got the program back. And they're a team that's not going to beat themselves. That's one thing when you look at this team, you don't have to generally worry that they're going to, go out there and make mental mistakes. This West Virginia team, I look at them sometimes, and we see some of the games this year. They played Oklahoma at the beginning of the season, a 16-7 game. They played well. But the last few weeks, man, the defense is starting to show some holes.
Defense showing some holes. The offense showing some progress under Trickett. Also, the transfer from Houston, Sims, pretty good. He's very versatile like he was at Houston for the Cougars, so no question there. The only time Kansas State beat themselves this year was a game I had them against Oklahoma State. They still covered the game in Stillwater, but they had 12 penalties in that game, which is unheard of for a Snyder team.
And uncharacteristically, 5 turnovers in that game, too. And when you can have 5 turnovers...
And only lose by 4 on the road.
You cover the spread.
Exactly.
You're doing a pretty good job. You know what, Ken? This is my free pick. Let's go ahead and make it official.
All righty.
All right, I look at this game and I look at Kansas State playing at home with 2 weeks to prepare for a West Virginia team that went all out last week against undefeated Texas Tech. Now, granted, Texas Tech's not the elite of the Big 12, but they are undefeated, and if they could pull off a win this week at Oklahoma, all of a sudden Texas Tech becomes relevant in the Big 12. I expect a little bit of a letdown from West Virginia, but more importantly, I look at this West Virginia team, and as I mentioned earlier to Ken, this team is starting to take on water defensively. We saw problems last year with West Virginia where they couldn't stop anybody. I see that happening again, and I like this Kansas State team. They've had 2 weeks to prepare, and I've got some stats on Kansas State. Kansas State, 15-5 against the spread the last 3 seasons after the first month of the season. Also, the last 3 years, coming off a loss, Kansas State is a perfect 6-0 against the spread. You give Bill Snyder 2 weeks to prepare against this West Virginia team. I think he's going to do some damage, and I also like this Kansas State defense. As I said, they held Baylor to season lows. Baylor is a team that put up 73 points on West Virginia. We're going to go ahead and lay the points with Kansas State on Saturday. I have them winning 37-20, and that's my free pick on Saturday. Take Kansas State and lay the points. All right, guys, we'll be back next. Ken's got a little hometown flavor here in Vegas. We've got the Fremont Cannon battle. I got to learn these rivalries.
On Nevada Day, no less. Because usually we tape on Wednesday, but it's Friday, and it is Nevada Day here.
All right, that's up next. UNLV at Nevada here on Pregame.tv.